What's going on, my beautiful people? So I hope you had an amazing day. It was beautiful. You did you, and you're appreciative of at least something. But I want to just tell you how much you can change within a year. So once you understand this, you're gonna start to take action because if you're, especially if you're in your 20s, you're probably thinking, I'm young, I have the whole time in the whole wide world, but the reality of things is you really don't. Time legitly flies. Like, I still remember when I was going to school in high school as a freshman and a senior, and then out of nowhere, I was just like, dang, like my life is finally gonna start. I, I was just in awe, and I still remember the first day when I moved into this brand new city in the Inland Empire. Life legitly flies by, dude. Like, you need to understand that right now. And if you're thinking this is the time to have fun and party and experiment, sorry, but you're wrong. You are really wrong, because this is the time when you need to be focusing on yourself, self-loving. And also, if I were to give you any advice, don't get into relationships so early. However, if you find somebody that is able to help you grow and you can help that person grow, that is a perfect match right there, because that is very rare and not a lot of people could have that. But realizing what we're in right now, as far as society and how there's so many games being played, especially at this age, to me, I just felt like I feel like it's just wasting your time, because there's lots of games. You have to be strategic how you text, and if you admit how you feel, you're gonna lose the other person's interest because you're gonna be too easy or needy or it's just annoying. It's a ridiculous experience. But going back to how much you can change in a year, so I want to talk about money in a sense, and then I'll get more into spirituality and perspective on life. So when I first started working at Amazon, so this I was hired, I believe, in March or April, middle of April, and I started to work there. It was like my first full-time job that I stayed committed to, and I learned a lot. And at this moment, I was going to school. But when I first started there, my net worth was probably around a little under $3,000. And now, which is a year from today, I'm actually about at a little above 21K. So I'm not 100% accurate. I mean, I know it's just above 20K. So I was able to more than, so what's three times? So my value went up by 7 times. Wow, that's actually really impressive. 7 times. Like, I literally had no investments going on. No investments. Wow. That just kind of hit me right now. My value increased by seven times. My net worth, I'm sorry, my net worth. Sorry, that just hit me right now. I didn't realize it until I said that out loud, and I'm so sorry. I had an ant crawling on me. Sorry about that. I didn't mean. Anyways, so that's how much I changed in a year. So imagine if you could increase your net worth by 7 times within a year, you can do a lot within a day, an hour, a week, a year, dude. So your 20s is a very, very difficult place to be. I thought it was just something that I was being dramatic about, but as I was hearing other podcasts and people out there on YouTube and reading articles, so I heard from lots of perspectives, people in their 20s, people in their 30s, 40s, and everywhere, lots of perspectives. But something about the 20s, I'm not sure it's because you become an adult, and 2 years later you're starting to like become more of an adult and trying to figure out who you are. But that's the thing, we're trying to figure out who we are, and that's what makes it even more frustrating, because when you're trying to figure out who you are but you don't know who you are, it gets very frustrating. So what I suggest you to do is don't get in a relationship. Focus on yourself. Put all your time and energy into investments, meaning you hang out with quality people. It's called OQP. Yeah, OQP. Only quality people. So if you know that you have someone in your life and they're kind of toxic, it may be a good idea to just cut them off. You literally, you don't owe that person anything. First of all, if someone is bringing you down spiritually, you can cut them off. There's nothing wrong with that. You could legit, like, if you want to be nice about it, just be like, hey, send a text. Just say, hey, I'm going to be real with you. I hope you do the best in life, but we can't continue our friendship. And you can just end it right there. That simple. If that person doesn't understand, then that's how you truly know that person is really bad for you. So cut toxic people out. Only invest in people. Only quality people. Invest in people that are gonna give you great returns, meaning they lift you up instead of putting you down. And by the way, being toxic could be in many forms. It could be in forms of love, of fear, manipulation. There's lots of ways of being toxic. So just find the small characteristics of that. If you just don't feel good by being with somebody and you know the energies don't match, that's how you know that person is toxic. That's an indication, I should say. So always go with your gut feeling, the way you feel right here. And by the way, this is something I just learned. So we have a total of 3 brains. So I just know that we have this one, which we don't use that much. This is from what I was told. And then we have another one, which is the gut, which I believe is the diaphragm. So I'm sorry I don't have the full information on this. I was explaining this a couple days ago. There's a lot of information being thrown at me as well. So I just try to say a lot of what I retained. But overall, you have to just do you. And here's another thing. So there's going to be lots of people out there. They'll be telling you that they know what's best for you, especially family, friends, and society. That's the real difficult one. But if everyone is telling you going to school, but you're going to school and you do not feel happy about it, like you don't feel passionate, you can't see the end result, you don't see a vision of school being a part of your future, you may just want to call it quits. Because so let me just put it this way. I put time, energy, and money into obtaining my associate's degree. Yes, I have an associate's degree. I went to school for that. It's been about 2 years, literally 2 years, as I was playing football. I made this much money with my degree. That's $0, guys. $0. $0 of a return. That means 0% of a return from going to school. It kind of pisses me off because I just wish I would have got into investing as soon as the age of 18. But that's the thing. When you don't come from a wealthy family, you don't get these advantages. But once you start to educate yourself on how to accumulate more money besides working a job, you do learn a lot. And here's another thing too. So you want to know the difference between the poor and the rich? The poor know how to trade their time for money, while the rich put their money to work. That's literally the only difference. They just know how to work their money. The rich know how to work their money. And here's the thing. You don't have to press anybody. You don't have to. Okay, yes, it's nice to dress up, and first impression is everything, meaning you want to dress to impress. However, you don't have to go in debt to look good. Dude, you don't have to spend $1,000 on jeans, on a pair of jeans or a pair of slacks. You get it less than like $30. Those shoes that you're wearing, they don't have to be worth $200. You get some comfy and also nice dress shoes for under $100 or $50. I mean, dude, like there's deals out there and there's ways of doing things. You just have to find a budget and stick to it. Yes, there is quality. There's a difference between quality and brand. So branding means that they're just known for, like, people just buy the product because they're amazing in their own ways. Quality is the value of it. So meaning that it may be worth $20, but the value is more worth like $100 because it's going to provide you with great foot support, great cushion. It feels athletic. So just don't fall into the big brands, because that's how you get into debt. Like I seen so many people flexing on social media, and they're just like, oh, I got all this money. They have bands in their hands, and it just looks stupid, because it's just like they're wearing a bunch of clothes that probably cost more than like a couple of grand, and that money could have been put into an investment that made even more money. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video, but before I do that, I just want to just mention one more thing. So building wealth is a long-term goal. So if you want to live a dream, if you really want to obtain financial freedom, it's such a simple recipe. You literally have to live below your means and be consistent with your investments. Also, find your purpose. Once you find your purpose, the money will eventually come. Or at least do something that makes you happy. It doesn't even have to be, you don't have to find your purpose now and find a way to monetize it. No, you could legitimately do what makes you happy and monetize that, and maybe your purpose will come later, or maybe that was your purpose, but you know until you actually got really into it and committed. Yeah, commitment is actually real huge too, and there's no such thing as overnight success. It just, if you're like most people in this world, overnight success doesn't happen. You literally have to put the time and effort to actually achieve something great. So focus on the long term, live below your means, and also last thing, and I'll end it, okay? This is a good one. So understand that a 10% return on $1 is 10 cents, okay? But a 10% on $10 is $1. A 10% on $100 is $10. You want to know how much a 10% is on $1 million? It's $100K. $100,000. So the reason why I bring up this statistic is because building wealth is literally what it is. You're building wealth. In the beginning, the returns are small. They're very tiny, very hard to notice. But once you reach a certain number, the returns get insane. So don't get discouraged because of the small returns. Think about it like this. If you put $1 in and that dollar was able to recruit 10 more cents, you're now 10 cents more rich just because you put your money to work. And think about it. You put your money to work. You didn't go to work. You may have worked for that $1, but once you got that $1, you put it into investment that accumulated 10 cents that required you to do nothing. So I'm going to end it right here. I know I could go on multiple rants, but I hope you learn something from this video, or at least gives you a different mindset in life, but if actually in a positive way. I would never want to bring any negativity at all. We're all positive vibes here, but I really hope that you live up to your potential, put the time in it, and discover something about yourself. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.